Today we're looking at the brand new Class 90 from Alan Thompson Simulations, bringing modern electric freight to trains and world on the West Coast Mainline South. With services running out of Wembley Freight Yard, this loco promises high-speed freight experience, but is it actually worth it? Let's find out. The Class 90 was developed as an evolution of the earlier Class 87, keeping a similar design, but introducing more modern electronics and improved performance. Then it served in the late 1980s, built for high-speed passenger freight work on the West Coast Mainline, with a top speed of up to 110 miles an hour. While they originally handled express passenger services, today they are almost exclusively used for freight, mainly hauling intermodal container trains. Freight operations run these services linking London with the Midlands, the North West, and even up to Scotland. From Wembley Freight Yard, they regularly work heavy container trains heading north along the West Coast Mainline, which is exactly the kind of operation you'll be running in Trains and World. In terms of modelling, the Class 90 comes with 5 different liveries out of the box and is fully compatible with the livery designer as well. Both the exterior and cab textures are well done with a real sense of age and wear throughout. It generally feels like you're driving something nearly 40 years old, with grime, worn paint, grease around the buffers, and even deals like a slightly better radiator on the front. Inside the cab, the older design really stands out too. As an evolution on the earlier Class 86 and 87, you still get those traditional amp meters from the traction motors, which adds that classic electric loco feel. Overall, it contrasts nicely with the more modern units like the Pendolino, really highlighting that older, more mechanical era of British rail. In terms of driving, the Class 90 is noticeably more user-friendly than the older Class 86 and 87. Without the need for a tap change, you don't have to worry about cutting out the traction motors, which makes it much easier to handle. It also features things like a speed set, which acts as a basic form of cruise control, letting you limit your speed on the move. That said, it's not completely effortless to drive. When you're pulling a heavy freight load, it still takes a fair amount of power to get moving, and manage your speed becomes really important. In the timetable series I played, I found myself chasing yellow signals to avoid stopping and having to restart the train, which actually made for a really fun and engaging challenge, and something quite different from your typical passenger runs. That said, I did run into a couple of issues. On my first attempt using the controller, the AWS acknowledgement didn't register, which forced me the train into an emergency brake application. I also had a problem with the reverser becoming locked, and I couldn't change it using the controller, keyboard, or mouse. It happened right at the start of the run, so not a huge loss, but it's still frustrating as a first impression. Hopefully it's something that gets patched out quickly, as it does effectively soft-lock the train. The add-on includes a new timetable for the West Coast Mainline South, with 15 services available for the Class 90. These range from short shunting duties to longer runs in and out Wembley, including services from Milton Keynes that can last around an hour if you're after something more substantial. On top of that, the 3 scenarios included ranging from around 45 minutes to up to an hour and a half, with tasks like a train rescue and winter operations to test your driving skills. It's a decent selection overall, but it does just leave you with 18 services across both modes, which does feel a little limited. Hopefully it's something that gets expanded in the future, whether through additional gameplay packs or layers into other routes. Given the Class 90's mixed traffic background, it would also be interesting to see some passenger operations added later on, but for now, the focus is very much on freight. In terms of performance, my experience with the Class 90 has been a bit mixed. I did notice more frame drops than I'd normally expect, even compared to some new releases like the Medway Valley line. That said, it's hard to say whether it's down to the locomotive itself or something else on the route. For the most part though, the performance was still fairly smooth, frame rates generally sitting around the high 50s during my run. So with all that in mind, is the Class 90 worth it? Well, that depends. It's very much a niche product. If you enjoy running UK freight and want something different from the Class 66, or you're looking to add more immersion to the West Coast Mainline, then this is definitely worth picking up. However, if you're looking for more variety, especially passenger operations, or wider route compatibility, it might be worth just holding off and picking this up in a sale. So, how are you finding the Class 90? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this review, be sure to click the like button and subscribe for more train simulation content. Thanks for watching.